Hey, thank you for coming by, Tori Magoo 44. Today is the 18th of November, 2017. That's 17 years I have been out and speaking out. I've been making videos since 2008 when Mark Bunker arrived saying this is a webcam from Anonymous. Anonymous, if you don't know, took on the Church of Scientology in 2008, and it is my opinion they actually cracked the Truman Show. Now, did they do that by themselves? No. There were many, many people that came way before them, all the way back to the guys that left in the middle of the night. There was no internet. They escaped out. Some of them, the Indians, helped them out in Hemet, in wheelbarrows with hay on top of them and stuff like that. I mean, it was an unbelievable time. By the time I escaped out in 2000, I honestly, until the day that they canceled my van, I did not believe they did fair game. I'd stood up in court and said that's not true. I mean, it was really weird. But then they canceled my van. And I thought, oh, wait a minute, who canceled my van? And she said, some anonymous people called and canceled your van. And I thought, oh my God, what all these people have been saying is true. They do fair game. And L. Ron Hubbard said you can lie, cheat, steal, destroy someone utterly. And that is bad news, I'll tell you. And, this is part 2 of the good, bad, and the ugly. And the really, really ugly, I have to say, my hat is off to Leah and Mike. Leah Remini, Leah, Scientology in the Aftermath, and Mike Rinder, who is the producer and used to be the PR of the Church of Scientology for years and is now out and helping her put on this show, and everyone that has been part of it, from Paul Haggis to, I can't even list everybody, but everybody that's been on there, the Headleys, it's just been so great. The stories have been so incredible. And I think one of the most touching and the most ugly things of Scientology is the second generation. The kids that grew up in Scientology, and they didn't have a choice. You know what I mean? They were born into it. My ex-husband, when I think about it, is second generation. He was born into it. His parents got in 1950, and he's still in. That at least these guys, you got to look at that. For the second generation guys, at least you got out. I don't know how, and I haven't talked to every single person, but bless your hearts, you got out. And it takes a lot of courage to leave something like that, I'm telling you. Because I've talked to academics who study cults, and they say the 2 worst cults are the Moonies and Scientology. Why? Because they build these traps in your head from day one that the only way out is the way through, right? You can't leave, because if you leave, then you're just deserting the group. And Hubbard just kept layering on like an onion, just piles and piles of shit, right? And you think, well, I wouldn't buy that. You don't know what you would buy. That's what the academics say. Anybody could get roped into a cult. If you're in the wrong place at the wrong time, your only solution is to learn what is a cult and learn the steps of a cult. Because if you know what they are, you'll hear it and you'll go, oh yeah, we've got the secret language. Well, wait a minute, that's part of a cult. Get out of there. It's secret. Get out of there. We have this leader, Joe Schmo. Get out of there. You know what I mean? Learn about what is a cult. You could type it in YouTube, and there's some very great videos on mind control and cults and what is a cult. But anyway, Scientology, one of the things that really traps people in is they declare you suppressive, which they did this. They're supposed to, Hubbard had this whole long lineup of shit that you're supposed to do before you get declared. They didn't do any of that with me, and they don't do any of that with anybody else. They just, with Miscavige, boom, declare them, that's it. And then you lose all your friends. And if you have family, you lose your family. And you know what? It takes a lot of guts to walk out of that and just say, I don't care, I'm walking out. And to the second generation, I am so proud of you that all you guys did it. I mean, you did it. As much as it's been awful, you did it. And now you can start healing. That's the thing. It takes a lot to heal from a cult. It does. I've been working on it for 17 years. And it's, you guys are a big part of it. You two, believe it or not, because I tell my story, that helps. It helps. And people kind of hear it, and I get that, and I thank you from the top and the bottom of my heart. I want to thank, so many people. One of the people that has helped me the most, a couple of them, Andreas, who helped me wake up. And he's got xenu.net, xenu.net. If you're new, go over there and start studying it, because I'm telling you, there are amazing stories there. Jesse Prince has stood by me through everything, thick and thin. I can't thank you enough. I love you, Jesse Prince. I really do. Nancy Maney and Spanky Taylor, both of them have been dear, dear friends of mine. Andrew Crane has been an incredible, dear friend to me, and just very, very kind. I mean, but the list goes on and on and on. I mean, it's amazing. That's the thing. When you're in a cult, you think, there's nowhere for me to go. Nobody will help me. But you know what? You get out and you go, really? That person's out and this person's out and they're going to help me and they're going to find me a job and this and that and that and that and that. I look at Leah's sites. I'm just so impressed with all the people there and all the kindness. It's like, I live here and I can get you a job, and I live here and I've got a room, and, you know, stuff like that. It's like, oh my God. I mean, I just can't tell you how wonderful that is. I mean, I come from, even in 2000, there was very, very little. I mean, thank God for Jesse, Bob, and Stacy and Andreas, because everybody turned on me in 2000. Everybody. Ex-Scientologists, critics. The critics are the guys that were never in. And the ex-Scientologists, everybody found out I had helped out OSA, which is their top secret police. They say it's PR and legal. Mike used to run, he used to run it back when I was in, who is the producer for Leah's show. And I actually, in Magoo Dancing in Boston, if you go watch that video, I say to Mike, Mike, you need to come out here and get with these people and hear what they have to say, because they might have something that could help you. And thank God he got out. Thank God. And so that's fabulous. Everybody that's ever been in is fabulous that they're out. Everyone who's supported everyone, it's an amazing group of people outside of that cult. But when you're inside of it, they just keep pounding you that this is it, this is the only way, this is the only thing that you can do. If you can go to Tori Christman on Facebook, and you scroll down, you have to scroll down a little bit now because I've made a few other videos, but I have a video from I think it's the 20th, or maybe the 10th of November. Yeah, it's the 10th of November. And it's a Friday night, and it's graduation, and you can see all these people pouring out. I mean, it's just amazing. They're mostly staff because they don't have that many public anymore, but it's amazing. I just stood there, and I did it kind of in honor of the second generation. I was like, call your parents. If you're a kid, call your parents. If you're a parent, call your kids. You know what I mean? I just kept standing there saying it over and over. It felt so good. And this one guy's trying to block me, this security guard, and I'm like, I'm taller than you. I got it. Anyway, I love you guys. I want to thank you. It has just been a fantastic, amazing, amazing experience for me in many, many, many ways. And people that I just keep meeting, and I have friends all over the world that I would have never met if I hadn't escaped out of Scientology. It's kind of weird. It really is. But I know a lot of people that feel the same. And for the second generation guys, I want to tell you, I'm so proud of you. I really am. And for anybody that's in who is second generation, including Harold Bazazian, you are welcome to come out. These people are fantastic. And they're way better than anything that you're around right now inside the Church of Scientology, which isn't a church. It's a cult and a business. That's all it is. And it's a fraudulent business at that. So there you go. I got to run, but I just wanted to tell you guys I love you. Thank you. Thank you. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving. Make sure every day you get up and are grateful for something. I think Oprah had a great idea, which is get a journal and write down 3 things every day that you're grateful for. Because you know what? It's like a little snowball, and it builds, and it does, and it builds, and it builds, and it builds. And pretty soon you're like, hey, things are pretty good. And they are. So there you go. I love you guys. And from Mr. Anonymous, if you haven't met him, he's from Norway. There he is. He's my buddy. Anyway, when I lost all my friends, he was like one of my first buddies. All right, there you go. I love you. Bye-bye.